Hello there, this is Tyler Movie Guy, and we are back to do one of my end of the year traditions, and this is one of my favorite of all of them. Today we are going to count down my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2026.
Fire, you son of a great power comes great responsibility.
My brother and a
You do this all day. I am Iron Man. Why so serious?
I am the comeback, the destroyer of worlds.
And like I said in my last video, usually I do this video in November, but I put it off because I knew there were going to be lots of big trailers coming out in the past couple weeks, and I am so glad that I waited because there have been lots and lots of trailers that have came out. So yeah, now I have something to include in my video, and I have more to talk about other than, you know, I like the actors, I like the directors, stuff like that. I actually have like a little bit more to go off of. And before we get started, I just want to mention that 2026 is an absolutely crazy year. Like almost all of these movies could have been the number one. They're just all really, really good. So it made it really tough trying to decide what's more exciting than the other and stuff like that. So yeah, this is going to be a crazy year and just go down in history as one of the best years of all time, hopefully. So with all that said, let's get started with number 10. Coming in 10th place, we have Disclosure Date. And obviously the big reason why this movie is on my list is the GOAT, Steven Spielberg, is directing this. He is my second favorite director of all time, and my number one will be showing up later in this video. Steven Spielberg is one of my favorite directors of all time, specifically from like the 70s to the 90s. He was just absolutely killing it with all of his movies. But in the 21st century, he's been kind of off and on. He's definitely fallen off a bit lately. His last movie, The Fabelmans, was quite good, so if Disclosure Date is as good as The Fabelmans, we are in for quite the treat of a movie. Spielberg's no stranger to sci-fi or like alien movies like this at all. Of course, he's done, you know, E.T., Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, War of the Worlds, Close Encounters, and all that stuff. Me personally, I'm not crazy about like most of those movies. I don't know what it is. It's just like E.T.'s probably definitely my favorite of like his more, like he does ton of sci-fi, but like his alien spacey kind of sci-fi. E.T.'s definitely the best of that. And then the other ones I'm not too crazy about. So hopefully this one will, yeah, be one of his better alien sci-fi movies and stuff like that. And also the cast is quite good with Emily Blunt, Coleman Domingo, Josh O'Connor, who I really liked from the new Knives Out and all of that. And then the trailer came out like roughly a week ago, and it didn't totally sell me on the movie. It was more of a teaser just to kind of get you hooked like on the intrigue of like what's going on, the whole thing for this movie. So yeah, this one, all in all, I'm really in it for Spielberg, one of my favorite directors of all time. I will always like see his movies in theaters now just because, you know, he's like 80 now, so like he definitely doesn't have too many left in him. Just for the novelty of Spielberg, I will definitely be checking this one out, and that's why it comes in 10th place. Coming in 9th place, we have Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic movie, and this movie was actually very close to being in last year's video, if you remember, but luckily I didn't include it in last year's video because obviously it got delayed now. So now it is in this year's video, and I'm actually a lot more excited for this movie than I was a year ago, just because we finally gotten a trailer for this movie. And just from the trailer alone, it just looks like really special. I've just been getting really tired of musical biopics lately. Like they've all just kind of been about like, you know, the ups and downs, the love life, the struggle with drugs and fame and wanting to do your own thing when producers want you to do something else. That's just what they've all kind of been feeling like lately. So in general, I've been kind of sick of biopics, but just this one feels really special because, you know, as controversial as Michael Jackson is, he is up there almost with like the Beatles and Elvis in popularity. That's just how popular of a musician he is. And I just love seeing a movie like this that's not like some big franchise movie like, you know, Marvel or Star Wars. I like see like posts online of people like actually really excited for this movie, and that's not very common for like a movie like this. Like just seeing the excitement revolving around a film like this. So that just kind of shows you what kind of impact Michael Jackson has left in the music industry and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really excited for this movie to see his whole life and all of that cool stuff. So that's why it comes in 9th place. Coming in 8th place, we have the Clayface movie, and this will be the 3rd movie in the DCU. And at this point, we've only seen the Superman movie, but I can confirm that that was such a fantastic movie. So I don't think that this Clayface movie will be to that same level as Superman, but just seeing Superman and seeing where this whole new franchise is heading, it has given me confidence in this whole franchise and that it will do really, really well. And regarding Clayface, I think like a body horror kind of movie like this sounds really, really cool, and I'm really interested. James Gunn and the DCU, they're willing to like branch out and do different genres like this. I'm always gonna of course compare it to the MCU. Like the only MCU movie I can think of that's horror is, Multiverse of Madness, and yes, that definitely was horror, but they still kept it PG-13. So like when we first heard it was horror, it sounded pretty exciting, but like it was pretty kind of kiddie horror. But this is like legit horror. It's gonna be rated R. I'm really excited that they're willing to go that direction with their franchise, like right out the gate, basically. A Clayface movie is a little questionable, not gonna lie, because like it's literally the 3rd movie in this new franchise, and once again I'm comparing to Marvel. Like that's like the equivalent of, I don't know, doing a Venom movie as your 3rd movie in the MCU before a Spider-Man movie. Imagine doing a Venom movie before a Spider-Man movie in your franchise. That's kind of like what I would relate it to, but I gotta like get that mentality out of my head, because James Gunn, he isn't trying to like really build towards anything currently, or he is, but like he also wants to do like cool little side movies like this, like Clayface. Like I don't think Clayface is gonna really build to anything, but it's just like a nice cool offshoot where they had the script ready and everything, so they were ready to make it. I'm still quite excited for that, and I have seen all of Batman the Animated Series, so if I haven't seen that series before, I probably wouldn't have been too crazy of them doing a Clayface movie. But actually, after seeing that whole series, and specifically the Clayface arc and like the cool character development and everything that was put into Clayface, like if they can capture that in a film like this, I am going to be really, really excited. Of course, yeah, it's in the DCU, so I'm going to be excited for that, and hopefully maybe a little Batman too. That'd be also really cool. So that's why it comes in 8th place. Coming in 7th place, we have Toy Story 5. And I know I've said countless times that Toy Story is my favorite animated movies of all time. Specifically, of course, 1, 2, 3. That is just such a perfect trilogy of movies. Specifically 3 as well. That's my favorite animated movie of all time, and they really should have ended it there. But 4 was still fun to see those characters back. And so now once again, we are of course seeing them back once more for Toy Story 5. And I guess, now that the floodgates open, like that they didn't end it with 3, let's just keep it going. I love these characters so much. So yeah, if you're gonna ruin a perfect ending like that, I guess you might as well just keep her going, keep cashing in the money and stuff like that. So from what we know so far about this movie is, obviously there is like a big kind of tech thing with the movie, and how like the bad guy is like a lily pad iPad thing, which is, I think, is actually like a really cool kind of metaphor for today, if you will, kind of, just because like, obviously like a big problem with children nowadays is iPad kids, of course. Like if you're ever in a restaurant and you see a kid on his iPad, like I like me personally, I genuinely think that is going to be a real problem with those people once they grow up. So I think a movie like this actually touching light on something like that, I don't know if it will actually bring a change to that, hopefully, but it's just a good commentary on real life issues, like not huge issues, but I still think it's a big problem we're gonna see with children growing up nowadays. But yeah, so I think that's like a pretty cool villain idea and everything like that, and cool to incorporate into a Toy Story movie like this. But I've said countless times before, I think a perfect Toy Story idea would of course be Andy having kids of his own, and then Buzz and the gang having to find Woody to bring back to Andy for his kid would just make for such an emotional film. Just imagining Andy like seeing Woody once again and then passing Woody down to his kid would just be, I would bawl my eyes out. And so yeah, that would have been really, really cool. And there's still a chance that could happen in this movie, but like every new detail about the tech thing and the teaser like don't point to that whatsoever. So it's very slim, but until I actually see the movie, I'm still holding on hope. And then also we did get a teaser like a month or so ago. It didn't really show us anything too much at all, but it did kind of bring up a negative factor in this picture here, of course, showing Buzz and Woody back together. Toy Story 4, the big ending of that whole film was, you know, Woody leaving to be with Bo Peep. So once again, Toy Story, they love undermining their endings basically. I really hope when they bring them back, it's not like right away in the film, so it feels a little bit more earned, the ending of the last film, and not just, oh, I'm back again. Like I kind of hope, I don't know, at least wait till maybe halfway through the movie they wait for that to happen. I don't know. It's Toy Story. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time, so it has to be in this list. So that's why it comes in 7th place. Coming in 6th place, we have Dune Messiah. And this is the movie that we kind of know the least about. Obviously, we know a lot about the plot of this movie because it is based off a book, of course. But this is the movie that we've gotten the least amount of news about in quite a long time. So it kind of leads me to believe they might delay it, maybe. I'm a little worried about, especially because it is coming out in December at the same time as Doomsday. So it could be very possible that they would delay it to the next year so it doesn't compete with Doomsday, and maybe they're not even done it yet. But as of now, it is still rumored for December 2026. So that is why it, of course, is in this video. So obviously, I was a big fan of the first 2 Dune films. Specifically, number 2 was also really, really cool. And of course, my favorite movie of 2024. Paul Atreides' like descent into becoming like this kind of corrupt leader and everything like that was really, really cool. So carrying that into this new film, how he becomes more and more corrupt and takes on the houses and everything. And I know from the book he like gets all ugly looking and bald and everything. I'm really, really excited to see that. And of course, I'm excited to see Christopher Walken, Florence Pugh, Zendaya, and also Robert Pattinson being added to the cast. That is just such a stacked cast. And of course, my boy Denis Villeneuve directing this film as well. If he can stick the landing with this film, this will end up as one of the best trilogies of all time. So that is why I am so excited for the conclusion to this whole Dune trilogy, and that's why it comes in 6th place. Coming in 5th place is the Supergirl movie, and this movie is especially relevant lately, of course, because we had our first trailer for it about a week ago. And I just love initial teaser trailers like that because it's like our very first like view of the movie, the vibe of the movie, the visuals, and all of that is just really, really cool to see for the first time. And it doesn't give away basically the whole plot. We actually learned a lot about this whole trailer, and I'm just really excited about this whole Supergirl movie because it very much seems like a perfect contrast to the Superman movie, where Superman is so hopeful and optimistic and sees everything so beautifully, but Supergirl is the exact opposite because she's seen the end of Krypton and it's really mentally changed her and made her very depressing and like an alcoholic and everything like that. So it's a perfect contrast between these two characters. And also, I know James Gunn was very adamant about like not kind of including Superman's origin because it's been done so often. So I think kind of putting the death of Krypton in Supergirl is a great way to show us Krypton, show us how it ended, but not have it in the Superman movie. So like it's not super redundant, but we still get to see it in a different film. Yeah, I'm also really excited for that and everything like that. And of course, I'm really excited for seeing Jason Momoa as Lobo. That is just an absolutely perfect casting. When I initially heard about it, I was kind of like, okay, why are we getting, you know, the guy who did Aquaman to be Lobo? Like, even though it's such a good casting, it's a little weird bringing him over to the other. But now, you know, that was like a year ago and I'm over it. And I just think this is an absolutely perfect casting and I'm really, really excited to see him. And I know from the trailer, lots of people are kind of skeptical because it's like, oh, it feels like Guardians of the Galaxy. It feels like Guardians of the Galaxy. And yes, I'm going to have to agree. It does feel a lot like Guardians. Even though James Gunn isn't directing this movie, it definitely has a Guardians vibe. But I am a huge Guardians fan, so that is no knock on this film whatsoever. I think it's going to be a great, fun sci-fi just like Guardians. So all in all, that's why this film comes in 5th place. Coming in 4th place, we have Spider-Man Brand New Day. And of course, I'm going to be excited for this one because it is Marvel and one of Marvel's best characters in Spider-Man. And also on top of that, I absolutely loved No Way Home. That was already 4 years ago, believe it or not. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how they carry on from that movie, obviously, because the ending of that movie like had some crazy stuff with, you know, all the multiversal stuff, and then also forgetting Peter Parker's identity and all of that cool stuff. So I'm really excited to see how they carry that into this new movie. And also there's lots of cool characters we now know are going to be in this movie, starting with the villains. In Scorpion is really exciting considering they teased him all the way back in Homecoming. So finally seeing him like a fully fledged Scorpion in this movie is going to be really, really cool. And then also Tombstone is confirmed to be in this movie, and seeing him kind of fleshed out in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Obviously they're two different Tombstones, but like kind of just seeing his backstory and stuff just got me like a lot more excited to now see him in this movie. I'm really excited to see those two villains because of course they obviously fit in a Spider-Man movie, but then also some 2 other characters that we know are going to be in this movie but don't really fit into Spider-Man. We have Hulk and the Punisher. And Spider-Man in the comics, he's basically like met everyone, so like it doesn't totally not make sense to include them, but also at the same time it's a little weird having Hulk and the Punisher in a Spider-Man movie. It seems like every Spider-Man movie needs like a different Marvel character, which is, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, why can't he just be on his own for once or whatever? But yeah, so I'm very curious how they're gonna play a part in the film. Like, there's lots of theories, like, you know, the Hulk accidentally killed Peter Parker's parents, or they were a part of him becoming the Hulk, or something like that. I don't know. There's some theories tying the Hulk to Spider-Man, so I'm really excited to see how that all turns out. And maybe because, you know, Hulk and Bruce Banner are 2 different people, maybe he still remembers him or something like that. We don't know yet, so that's also a little questionable with like a bunch of these characters, but also really exciting at the same time because I still love these characters. And then also, instead of John Watt this time, we have Daniel Destin Cretton, who is of course known for Shang-Chi and a couple other non-Marvel movies that are also really great. So I'm really excited to see him be brought into the Spider-Man directorial debut or whatever like that. So he's really great with hand-to-hand combat and all that cool stuff. So that's going to fit really nicely into Spider-Man. And we've already seen set videos of actual practical swinging, and we've seen the suit and it all looks really, really good. So yeah, I am super excited for this movie. So all in all, of course, it's Spider-Man, so it is making it into this list at number 4. Coming in 3rd place, we have the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And this is going to probably be my most controversial take on this whole list because I know not many people are actually excited for this movie because it kind of just, the trailer that came out a couple months ago, it just kind of felt cheap and just felt really like just another season of The Mandalorian. Like, this easily could have just passed as season 4. But me personally, I'm still really excited for this because I am a big Mandalorian fan. Mainly the first 2 seasons. Season 3 definitely did fall off a bit, but yeah, season 1 and season 2 are amazing. And believe it or not, it has been 6.5 years roughly since our last new Star Wars movie. So I am dying to see another new Star Wars movie on the big screen. And I'm holding out hope that there's something special that they were hiding in the trailer that makes this movie worthy, opposed to just a season 4. And so far what we know about this movie is, of course, Zeb is coming back. That's really exciting. Sigourney Weaver's in it, and she's playing like some rebellion person. And then also Zero the Hutt is coming back, played by Jeremy Allen White, and he's like a gladiator now. So nothing to get you super hyped yet, but either that's because it's, yeah, just not that interesting of a movie, or hopefully they're just hiding all the really cool things for a later trailer, or the actual movie itself. I'm just excited for this because I'm a big Mandalorian fan and it's been so long since we've had a new Star Wars movie. So that's why this movie is coming in third place. Coming in second place, we have Avengers Doomsday. And this has been a big talking point lately, of course, because of the release of Avatar and all the teasers that have come along with Avatar and how they're doing like a new teaser for every week screening of Avatar. And I did see Avatar a week ago, and unfortunately we did not get any of the teasers, but fortunately a good version did come out a couple days later. So I have seen the first one, but I have yet to see the other three. Hopefully I'll see them online, but we are here to talk about the actual movie itself. And it is infamously known that Marvel Phase 4 and 5 have been quite rocky, but I think with Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four from this year, we are definitely seeing a course correction leading up towards Doomsday, which hasn't gotten me like, I'm not like Endgame, Infinity War level excited. Like, I don't think I will ever reach that level of excitement like ever again. That was just such an amazing event that took 10 years to build up, and this is definitely not the same as that. But, you know, I'm still pretty excited. It's another Avengers movie, just like the Mandalorian and Grogu movie from, you know, Rise of Skywalker being in 2019. It will also be like 6 years since our last Avengers movie in 2019, which is pretty crazy. So it's really cool that 2026, it just really feels like kind of as cool as 2019 was, you know, with like a new Toy Story, a new Star Wars movie, a new Avengers. It's so cool that we're like seeing like so many movies coming back that we haven't seen since 2019. So that's really exciting. It's Avengers, and what we've learned recently, of course, is Steve Rogers is coming back. So that's really, really exciting. And also, you know, we know about like a bunch of the different teams. You know, we know about like the new Avengers, we know about the original Avengers, we know about the X-Men coming back, we know about the Fantastic Four. And so yeah, that's like all we really know so far. And of course they're going to be fighting Doctor Doom. That's like just a lot of characters to tackle, so I'm a little curious how they're going to deal with that and what's all going to go down. But yeah, it's an Avengers movie. I love Marvel up and down, but yeah, I really think with Doctor Doom, RDJ, I know that's like the safe kind of option and everything, and the same with the Russo brothers, but I think that's kind of what we need for a movie like this, like specifically for Avengers. Like for like other smaller movies, you can like, you know, like play around with other directors, but when it's like a big thing like this, I think you need to bring in the big guns with like the Russos and RDJ and stuff like that. So it's kind of like we don't know too much about it, and Marvel's been up and down lately, but I'm still pretty excited because, you know, just because of like the past Avengers movies, you know, Infinity War and Endgame, I highly doubt this is ever going to reach that level. But I have past trust for like the movie themselves and the directors and all of that stuff. And I think they know what kind of competition they're up against. And I don't think they're going to reach that level, but I think they are going to at least try. So yeah, of course, this has to be in this list, and that's why it's coming in second place. But coming in first place, we have Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. And if you didn't know, Christopher Nolan is my favorite director of all time. So of course I'm going to be excited for any of his new movies, but specifically this one's extra exciting because this will be his first movie after his big success in Oppenheimer, his first ever Oscar win. So, you know, everyone's excited to see how he's going to follow that up. And I think this is such a great movie to do. I know this is based off a book, of course. Unfortunately, I have not read it. I'm not much of a reader, but if I were ever to get into reading, I would definitely want to check out The Odyssey. But yeah, this just sounds like such a great like epic for Christopher Nolan to do. And this is like a time period he's never actually tackled. He's done like a couple World War II movies, but yeah, he's never gone this far back in time with like Greek mythology and all of that. It just sounds really, really cool just from what I've heard so far. And we've gotten like a teaser back in July, and then we also got like more of a full trailer just about like a week ago. So yeah, seeing that was all also really, really exciting. And Nolan loves to do like big spectacle, and he loves practical effects and everything. So I'm really expecting just an absolutely gorgeous looking film. And I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but I'm 99% 100% sure Ludwig Göransson is the composer, so that's also really, really exciting. I love listening to everything he puts out. And then also our cast, of course, you know, all the actors want to work with Nolan. So, you know, our lead, Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Anne Hathaway, John Bernthal, Elliot Page, is just to name a few. That is just such an amazing cast, and because, you know, they all want to work with Christopher Nolan. I'm excited to see all of them in such a epic film like this. This is easily my most anticipated movie of 2026, and July could not come any sooner. So there you have it. That is my list. Those are my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2026. And like I've said before, this is just gonna be a crazy year. Almost all of these movies could have made the #1 spot, which made it so hard to decide what's more exciting than the other. But yeah, I am so excited. So yeah, stay tuned for me to talk more about these movies when I actually watch them and all that fun stuff. And farewell.